Tez, how does it feel to be on the show?
Well, being that this is the first time on the show, I'm kind of enthused
I can tell.
to be here mentally.
Hello, welcome to Let's Talk. Welcome to the final episode of Let's Talk. This is it. It's ending. I shaved. I have a chin. Who knew? We have some lovely guests. We have Kenzie, as always, and Tez. Tez, why don't you introduce yourself and your topic?
Tez Huggins. The topic I'll be talking about post-graduation plans. Basically what I have planned after I graduate April 28th, 2018 at 2 o'clock, 800 University Drive University from Northwest Missouri State University. I do plan on jumping right into my career field. Essentially, after speaking to some professionals in my career field of production work, I could work for a video production company, a TV station, or a news station. But a new avenue that I didn't even think of yet was that I could work for a equipment rental company. A company that rents out camera equipment, other types of jibs, gizmos, and that would put me in a good position to shake hands with those people that are actually doing production work, whether it be a short film, a feature film, independent film, and I'll be able to learn how the equipment works, how it operates, what makes it tick. And then I'm also probably doing part-time being a PA, which is a production assistant or a utility. So I mean, as of right now, I don't have a job lined up for me, but I am persistent with the job application process. Just last week, I filled out 10 applications, and then I say, matter of fact, tomorrow, Tuesday, I do follow-up phone calls. I'm calling all 10 locations to see where my application is, and essentially, I will begin not harassing, but I'm going to emphasize that I am interested in being employed, and I'm hungry to have a job, and so that's what I'm currently doing. But
are you looking in like just the Kansas City area?
No,
or where are you looking?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I've applied to places in Texas, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Washington D.C., New York, California, just to name a few places.
So what makes you want to do that? Like, what sort of drove you towards the equipment production side of
Equipment.
Yeah.
I'm more of an aspiring actor,
Oh,
and so I'm
okay.
getting a degree to learn everything behind the scenes to put myself in front of the camera.
Gotcha.
So any way to get my foot in the door, I'm gonna take that route. So that's where I'm at right now.
Clever.
This is kind of a two-part thing, but like I said, I think like when I tell people I want to host, I'm just like get behind the camera, learn all of that, because then you can help out for one, and two, you'll know how to make the behind the camera work life a lot less stressful. But what made you want to get into acting? Is what I wanted to ask.
Oh man, what made me get into acting? Well, I try to condense the story down a little bit. In the 8th grade, I was in drama class, and then the summer leading into my freshman year, I did community theater. So I worked with a traveling theater group while I was stationed overseas. So I lived in Germany for 2 years, and I did that, and then I did theater throughout high school, but I never acted on stage. I just did theater from behind the scenes type work, just learning the craft. And then I created my first independent low budget film my freshman year in college. And then that just drive me to keep going. But I always wanted to be an actor since I was in middle school because, I watched so many movies and I'm like, I can do this, I can do that. And to tell you the truth, it started with Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch kind of sparked something in me because subliminally, Stitch had all these different cousins, but they were different personalities of the same monster or whatever you can put it. And so just in my mind, I'm like, I can act out each one of these monsters, and it's like over 600 of them. So, and then that just progressed to where I'm at now, to where I would like to argue that I am the best actor on this campus. Period.
Okay.
I am willing to
Bold
go.
claim.
I'm willing to go head to head with anybody that think they can outact me and portray any character or emotion, personality, anything. Now, when I'm talking about acting, I study acting. I do a form of acting that's called the naturalistic style acting, which is I don't become the character. I let the character become me, which allows me to keep control of my emotions to the fact that it's still believable, but I don't lose who I am as a person, which could affect my psychology as a person, which I could change my the chemistry of my mind. It gets deep. I don't want to go that deep
Yeah.
into acting, but
We
I
don't
know
get that
acting.
deep on this show.
No, I haven't seen. I need to find your work. Like, is it on YouTube?
Yes, I do have a YouTube channel.
What's your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Tez Huggins, just my name. T-E-Z, first name, last name Huggins.
Justin, put that up.
Last name Huggins, Huggins. That's my YouTube channel. You can see a variety of work from everything in front of the camera or behind the camera. I just put up my cologne commercial. I put up my Chicago vlog when I was in Chicago for spring break networking. I spent my spring break networking with professionals in my field. Instead of going for pleasure, I went for business. And, you know, I was fortunate going to a larger market, still in the Midwest, to actually meet with professionals. They gave me some really good advice. You know, this is my first spring break actually going out traveling to do something. And so I spent that networking.
I spent my spring break more for fun because, like, I've never gone anywhere, but
Mhm.
did end up actually doing some networking because I was down in Austin. And we got there, like, right at the tail end of South by.
Mhm.
And we were out at a bar with Nathaniel's dad and stepmom, and his dad comes out and he's like, guys, the guy who filmed Elon Musk earlier this week is in here. Come on. So he helped us, and we met him, and he was really cool, and he was telling us kind of the story behind that. And so that was kind of more like the video professional side of it. And then I also made a connection with one of their friends who does a lot of, who offered me some freelance work.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, that's awesome though.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, I'm just gonna go network.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I spent my time in Chicago, literally walking from building to building, seeing who I can meet in this building. I'm actually physically handing out physical copies of my resume. And matter of fact, last Friday, I got an email from a lawyer. I'm thinking I'm in trouble. Like, what did I do in Chicago? But the lawyer was just saying, like, you know, he really admired my drive to literally walk door to door, handing out my resume. He said he has some connections, not only in Chicago, but in New York, that he's going to see what he can do for me networking-wise. I sent him my demo reel. He sent it to other professionals in my field. So, you know, if I could encourage anybody to go out there and do something, you know, just go do it, you know, take that risk. And, you know, you never know who's watching. And so I didn't know that a lawyer actually paid attention enough to me to get a hold of my resume to pass off to other ones that he's in contact with. So
That's awesome. Yeah. Kinsey, plans after graduation?
I'm actually going to work in St. Joseph after graduation. I have a job at the news press there as a page designer. So I'm starting out with newspaper again. But they also have TV stations, so hopefully in a year and a half, because they're we want you to stay on newspaper for a year and a half to 2 years to learn everything, and then you can move. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's just my foot in the door. Hopefully I can work more towards up to the TV side, because I really liked Austin, so I want to go down there again. I kind of want to live down there, but I also want to go work at Rooster Teeth, which does a lot of online video and stuff, and so I want to get experience enough so that I can go down there in a few years. After college, I'm going straight to work.
Straight to work. That's, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. My plans. Well, there's really not much for a studio art major to do after college. My two options are higher education and just going straight into it, making art, trying to find a studio. But I think I'm gonna go with the furthering my education route. I know one internship lined up that I could get into in Seattle. Not sure if I want to do that yet. That's really far away, but it sounds like a good opportunity. There's also like an artist residency in Tennessee or Kentucky, one of those two. In my mind, Tennessee and Kentucky are the same exact state. I don't know why. I just get it mixed up. It's called Aramont School of Art and Design, and you just like go out there and you like live on this site like in the mountains, and you just like make art for however long you're there, and they feed you and house you and all this stuff, and they have classes and then possibly getting my master's degree someday in the future, just because like if I wanted to say be a college professor and teach art at a college, I would almost always need a master's degree in order to do that. So that's my plan, is to just further my education.
Would that internship and that residency, would that take, like, do those take place at, like, the same time, or are those, like, different? Like, could you do both if you really wanted to?
I mean, yeah, I could. I could do the internship, like, right out of college. And then the residency is just something that, it's a location that does this full time. So
like,
in, like,
you go.
Yeah, like, after the internship's over, I could go there, I could come back here, I could try and find a school to actually get my master's degree at. And yeah, just make art along with doing that.
I mean, like, that'd just be an interesting avenue if you didn't want to go back to school right away, but you still want to do, like,
Exactly.
art.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because I'm a little tired of school. I have a year left, and I'm already like ready to be done with it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said you're a studio art major, right?
Yeah.
So, and how do you post your art online often?
Not very often. I need to more. I need to make, because I have like my personal Instagram and I sometimes post stuff, but I need to make like a specific Instagram just for my art specifically. I'm a sculptor, so like sometimes it's difficult to like post pictures of my art because you can't really get the full effect of a sculpture through a picture. But with Instagram, I could just make like a boomerang all the way around it.
Right.
He's also made
I also make
rings.
This is like the fourth time
Yeah.
I've advertised these on the show.
Tez didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he makes rings.
I make wooden rings. I'm a sculpture major who like emphasizes in woodworking. That's me.
Well.
That's what I want to do. I want to work with wood. Kinsey, we're gonna move on to your topic. What do you got for us?
Expectations versus reality. And this can be very, very broad as you like it, because what kind of sparked this thought was I was listening to Imagine Dragons' Thunder, and it just sounds really cool all around. They have a part in there that is just their vocals, and I'm like, how would that sound in concert? And then that sparked the thing of like, oh, like, I think it sounded really cool, but maybe it sounds really shitty and live, or it sounds even better.
There's no like,
there's no
they
real,
can't fix it in post. It's just
yeah, but then
the
it's just
guy.
like, oh, you know, the like 2 different people I've seen in concert, like it's been, their music's not really, they don't sound better per se because they don't have, you know, auto-tune to help them, but also it does sound better than listening to a track because there's different emotions going on than maybe when they recorded it in a studio.
Yeah.
So, what is something where you were like, had an expectation going into it, and then the reality of it was something way different than you thought?
Oh, well, for me, I would say this campus. Because I came here as a transfer student, and you know, I made multiple phone calls to people that worked here, and I tried to get in contact with people that were in this department. And before I came here, I was told, oh, there's a film festival every year, blah 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 blah. But the year I come here is when it stops, so there isn't a film festival here. So it went from, should I stay, even though I want to be involved in a film festival, try to get my work out there, be noticed that way, something to build on my portfolio, add to my demo reel, or should I leave to a more expensive school that has a really good media or maybe a really good film program? So when it comes to reality versus expectation, if something's not what you expect it to be, then you could just buckle down and just accept it and move on. And since I've been here, I've been involved in several things, with my colleagues here. Being involved with this show is probably an opportunity I wouldn't have had if I would have went on to another university. So I do think that my reality now is probably what I needed to experience compared to my expectation when I first came here. So it was meant to happen. That's why it happened that way.
Gosh, let me think.
While you think for a moment,
Okay, go ahead.
kind of going off of that is, when I came here, my expectations of campus, I try to not have really high expectations because I'm kind of a pessimist that way.
Okay.
But especially in getting in the media department, especially in journalism, campus is not as great as it is, just because there's a lot of stuff. But I mean, it's kind of with all schools. There's a lot of budget problems and things that go on that just don't make it as great. But it's still a pretty awesome campus, and I'm glad I went here because, like you said, going to another campus probably wouldn't have given the same opportunities.
Right.
Still thinking.
Contemplating life over there.
I have pretty low expectations of everything, so I'm always pleasantly surprised.
That's how I like to be. Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, this is very difficult. I think living on my own, definitely, well, not on my own, I have roommates, but not living with my parents is definitely something that I expected, ooh, I'm gonna have so much freedom. I'm gonna go out every night. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna hang out with my friends all the time. And I just kind of chill out at home now. I don't really do much, but I mean that's just a personal thing. But it just feels different than I thought it would feel. I thought it would be very homesick and I felt like it would be more exciting to not live with my parents, but now I'm having to cook my own meals and stuff. And so it's a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. That makes sense? I still have fun. But I don't know. This is different.
I mean, another example. My expectations with my roommate this year, because she was random. We've already had an entire episode on this.
We did.
Because she was random, and she seemed really nice. I thought she was going to be awesome and everything. I've had my roommate the year before. She was really awesome, but she wanted to live on her own. My freshman year roommate, she was amazing too, because we were very similar. This girl, she is the messiest person ever. Lets her dog use our apartment as a bathroom and smokes weed all the time. So my clothes smell disgusting. And so, I thought she was really nice. So my, expectations for who she was very different, and I'm glad I'm moving out. But yeah. Yeah, that was another thing. I don't think I'm going to do a random roommate ever again.
Good plan.
So.
Who are you living with this year?
I'm moving with Nathaniel.
You're going to move in with Nathaniel?
Yeah.
Nathaniel, your boyfriend, the producer of this show, my best friend, and also my current roommate?
We're gonna be neighbors with Rebecca.
Ew.
Another one of our friends.
Yeah, my other roommate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, he's just over there confused at
Does is so confused. We're just
I'm actually going to use your topic to transition into my topic.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about Let's Talk.
Meta.
Yeah, let's talk about Let's Talk. My expectation going in, Nathaniel asked me at the beginning of the year to host a podcast, which was I've never done a podcast, but I always had this picture in my mind of like people just sitting in a tiny room with microphones and headsets, just like on their computers finding stuff to talk about. And now we're here in like it's a big production with this like very expensive studio, and we have like nice chairs and like backlighting and everything, and I just never really would have like thought that Let's Talk would become this. I just thought it would be an audio thing, not really. Now it's this whole like
Your video major best friend asked you to be on a podcast for his video major.
he didn't tell me it was
station.
for he didn't tell me the specific class it was for. He just said I need help with this project. And of course, he's my best friend, so I'm going to say yeah. And and now here I am, and it's great. And Let's Talk has meant a lot to me. Trying to get you in this conversation since this is your first and last time being on the show.
First and last.
What is your professional opinion on Let's Talk, just from your like first impression?
Well, I volunteered the first time, but I couldn't make it. I believe was it last week or the week before last?
It was the week
It was
before,
last
'cause
week.
that's when we had Rebecca on. Or no. Was it
Last week we had Nathaniel on.
Oh, it was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of bailed. I didn't want to, but I had another obligation. But he caught me in the edit bay today and said, "Hey, are you still interested?" I said, "Yes, I am." What time? This time. All right, I'll be there. So I'm here now, and you know, I enjoy. You know, whenever I'm in front of the camera, I always enjoy myself.
It's a good time.
You know, and you know, just talking, conversating, getting that off my chest is very therapeutic. And so I enjoy my time being here on Last Talk. I think I made my world premiere on Let's Talk the first and the last time of the season.
I know. It's
It's-
incredible.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
And I think this is gonna be one for record books.
Yeah.
I do think so.
We should call this Last Talk.
Ooh,
Oh.
Oh my
Last
goodness.
Talk.
But you kind of mentioned it, this being therapeutic. It is therapeutic to just kind of sit down and talk to somebody for 35, 40 minutes every
Oh, yeah.
every week. Yeah.
Especially like, I don't know for you, but afterwards when, as we talked about last week, we go play D&D.
Go play D&D.
It's just even more of a like, I go in more relaxed to D&D.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then, and you have less to talk about during D&D because you already spilled all of your
emergency.
words.
Word vomit.
And I also like it because I get to meet neat people like Tez, because I literally never would have like talked to you.
What?
It's it's because I'm not a very like openly social person. Like if I don't know somebody, I'm not gonna just walk up to and talk to them.
Okay, you're more introverted.
Kinda. I'm both.
Okay. All right.
I talk both ways. But I just really don't talk to strangers very much, especially if you're going to be in this building, obviously you're probably going to be doing something. I'm not going to come bother you if you're sitting at a computer.
You can if you want to.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely will now.
Yeah.
But just getting to meet interesting people every week definitely made a difference, because
Who's?
gosh, I'm trying to think of all the guests that we've had. We've
I'm
had a lot of people
Yeah, we
on.
have. I think, okay, so the first week was,
It was Aaron.
it was Nate for the first week, and then Aaron.
Oh yeah, the first week doesn't count because
First week doesn't
the first week doesn't count. We were
count. No,
in.
we have had a lot of guests. I can't.
I know.
Now I can't remember them.
God.
Oh dear.
I would, if we had them all lined up in front of me, I would know all their names. But right now, I can't think of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Shane was cool. Shane was on the show. We love Shane. And
Ooh, Shane, the
It's just-
GM?
Yeah.
the GM, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Shane
Shane
the
was on
GM.
a few weeks ago.
Kenzie, get your hand out of the shot. Leave my plant alone. That's my job to mess with the plant. but I love meeting people, even though I don't do it very often.
Mhm.
I usually have to be introduced to somebody, and then I'll like talk somebody's ear off because I have a lot to say. Another reason why I like being on the show. I have a lot to say as a person.
I think this is a good situation to meet new people.
Definitely. Being forced to talk to somebody with a camera pointed at you is very like, because then you have to be interesting.
Mhm.
You have to make a good impression no matter what. Kenzie, what do you think about Let's Talk?
It's been fun. Like you said, it's very like cathartic. It's very relaxing just to be on here. And we have had, like you said, we have had a lot of like fun guests, and yeah, I can't remember any of them now. Like I literally can't, except for the one thing that keeps walking in my mind was when you, Brianna, and Alex. Like, yep, she died.
Yeah, Kenzie was gone that week.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I was no.
Oh.
So like Brianna and Alex were on the show one week,
Mhm.
and so with him, so I was chilling out there, and all of a sudden I hear, yeah, no, she died. And I'm like, what? I'm sitting it here. They're doing it as a joke. Like, fine then.
Oh.
They just
Somebody
didn't
died.
want me to be on here.
Yeah, that was an interesting week because I had two guests, and I was sort of like nervous at first, but they both turned out to be like two of the friendliest people I've ever met. So that was definitely like very, very helpful in talking to them because I just felt very comfortable around them.
I feel like a lot of people can come off as like very unapproachable, but then you get them like sat down and just actually talk to them. Then it's like, yeah, no, you're fine.
Yeah,
You're cool.
you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, you're not
And
scary.
you just come off as really chill all the time.
I'm
like,
still
every
getting a
time I
chill
see you,
vibe
I'm
from
like-
here. Yeah. Literally, like 30 seconds before we started recording, he was asleep in that chair. That's how chill he is.
Oh man, don't put me on blast like that. I was just relaxing.
So, we're gonna end the show for good now. I don't know what to say. It's
fun
it's
times.
it's kind of bittersweet because I'm ready to move on to other things, but I also love Let's Talk. So it's good and annoying at the same time because I have to block out this time every week. But I'm happy to do it.
But I mean, wouldn't you be in other meetings?
I would be in other meetings at this time, and I would rather be here than at those meetings. All right. Well, we're going to get on to the thank yous, which is my favorite part. Thank you, Tez, for coming on the show. It was awesome to have you.
No problem.
Yep. Thank you, Kenzie, for always being on the show. Thank me for also being on the show and volunteering to do this. I don't know the names of all the crew. I don't think
Thank
we were
you.
ever properly introduced. Thank you,
Brianna,
Haley. Thank you,
Haley.
Brianna. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Newt, whenever we need your help. Thank you, Rachel, for doing homework in the studio while I'm here. Thank you, cameras, for doing your thing. Thank you, people watching at home, for watching. Thank Nathaniel.
I mean, he
for-
put this together.
yeah, for
Without
making
him, we
this
wouldn't have had this.
happen. Yeah, this was Nathaniel's brain baby. So this wouldn't exist without him.
I just had a weird image of a brain baby.
A brain baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin,
One,
put up a
two.
picture of a brain
It's-
baby.
And it was literally just a like fetus imposed on a brain.
Justin, make a brain baby. um,
Okay,
All
we
right.
need to be done.
we need to stop. Thank you, everybody.